Everybody, Johnny Hank here. You know what bugs me? You know what really freaking bugs me? Is that pickup trucks, work trucks have become freaking computer pads. You know what? You step into your freaking truck now, you go to a car dealership, you're thinking, ah, man, look at that big old truck over there. I'm going to get in it because I'm going to work in it. And then you get into it. And what's sitting there on the screen? It's a screen. It's a freaking screen. I don't want a truck that has a screen. I want a truck that I can work in. But you know what? Trying to find a work truck nowadays is just about next to none. So I'm hearing all these guys out there. Have you seen the new Dodge Rams? They have a 12-inch screen. I don't care what size of screen's in the truck. People are like, but you need the backup camera. No, I know how to back up to a freaking trailer. I'm from Alabama. We all know how to back up to a trailer at some point. Okay, we learned that at like 4 years old. And sometimes, depending on what part of the state you're in, 4 years old. So look, the only thing I'm asking is that the truck makers at some point realize that there's some of us out here that don't want an aluminum can for a truck, number one. Number two, we don't want something with turbos on it. If I want turbos, I'll go buy a diesel. I don't want them on a gas burner. Sorry, but turbos after a while are going to burn out and you're going to have problems out of them. So, I'm going to let all the Ford guys get on here and start arguing. That's going to be great. But anyway, no, I don't want something with turbos. I want something that's going to be muscle. I want something that's going to be a truck. That if I take it into the woods, I'm not going to feel bad about getting it dirty. I'm not going to feel bad if I put it in four-wheel drive and I go tromping through the mud, or I need to tow a trailer. I can back up to a trailer without a camera just fine. I'm not saying that's not a convenience. That's great. But these infotainment systems, really, what's that? What kind of a truck are you buying with an infotainment system on it? Seriously, look at all the crap that they're putting on these things now. Let's take, for example, that new 12-inch screen on Dodge Rams. Now, I know you Dodge guys out there love your trucks. That 5.7 Hemi is a great engine. I love the way it sounds. But I don't need a movie theater in the center of my truck. I just don't. Now, right now, I got a little truck that I have. It's a little Mazda. It's B2300. For where I live, it's fine. It's a 1998 model. Old school. Just a single cab truck. Does what I want it to do. It's good for going to Lowe's and picking up stuff and bringing it back to fix the house with. But now I'm seeing all these guys out here with all these freaking luxury trucks. Luxury trucks. If you've ever worked outside for any amount of time, and a lot of days around the house I have to, I don't really want to get into a truck with leather seats to go down to Lowe's or vinyl seats to go down to Lowe's. I want something that I can get in hot and sweaty, that I can get into, that it doesn't matter if it's been raining outside or whatever. And so my question to the truck makers is, I understand that you still have work trucks for construction crews, but even on some of these work trucks, I'm seeing these big infrared infotainment. I don't know what they're called. One of those things that I can't pronounce. Infotainment systems or iPad or whatever on the truck. But yet, how useful is it? How much use do you actually get out of it for the truck? Does it increase the towing? No. Well, it's a great radio system. Well, you know what? Radio's free over the airwaves. You put me a basic one in there, I'm happy. Heck, I'm happy without one. In other words, what I like are the older trucks, your 80s and 90s models, before everything went crazy and they decided to start making things out of aluminum and turbocharging things or putting infotainment systems on stuff. Now, I get it that there's some people that don't really use their trucks. They really don't. I have friends who have pickup trucks that are really pretty and really nice, and I always ask them, well, what have you towed this week? Nothing. Not a thing. How many times have you went to Lowe's in it? Not once, except to get a candy bar. So, I hear all this crap about all these people like, yeah, but my truck's the best one out there. How do you know you haven't done anything with it? Now, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm completely wrong. A good example is that my father-in-law has an F-150, has a 2011 with a 3.5 liter twin turbo in it. Now, he's had a lot of success out of that truck. However, I'm also hearing a lot of stories where people have had those trucks and they were crap. And I'm not just crapping on Ford here. Don't think that, Ford guys. I drive a Ford car, and I was a Ford man up until just a few years ago. But how reliable are all these new pickups going to be in the long run? Is it going to be something where all the electronics start breaking in about 5 or 6 years? Is it going to be something to where you're going down the road and your screen goes out and it's a big deal? I think we're heading towards that point. And the thing I challenge the automakers, and again, I'm not picking on Ford, I'm not picking on Dodge. Chevrolet's doing this, GMC's doing this, same company. The only ones that seem to really still be making any type of a work truck is Toyota and Nissan. Now, I went to a Nissan dealership because occasionally I'll go test drive a truck just for the heck of it, just to get it out of my system so I don't go buy a big truck and have a $900 a month payment like some of these yahoos out here. Because I'm saving for retirement, you know. So I see a Nissan pickup truck, and I just go down and look at it, and I found one of the best basic trucks I've ever found out of the Nissan Titan. You can get them as basic as you want. Well, and in a crew cab too, which is what I wanted. It was still a bit much on the price, but still. I looked at it and it was a basic pickup truck, not a freaking computer pad with wheels attached to it with some fruity tooty engine under the hood. Sorry guys, but Nissan and Toyota seem to be leading the way on this, and that's just my opinion. And opinions, well, you know what? Everybody's got one, and everybody else has something else too. So I don't know if the truck market is ever going to back down from this luxury stance, and if it's going to be where people like me who love to get dirty, love to get their trucks dirty, love to throw things in the back, and need a stable bed to hold things, and need a reliable engine, and don't want a bunch of crap to break on it electronically, if we're ever going to get back to getting trucks like that without having to special order a work truck from a dealership. Because I see very few dealerships in my area with work trucks. And if you have to order a work truck, you got to pay to have it delivered to whatever dealership you live next to, which is crap. So, I don't know, folks. It just seems to me that the world of trucks is getting to where it's not made really for truck people. Not what I consider truck people. Your run-of-the-mill, good old boys out in Alabama that need to load hay on them, that need to load up a cattle trailer, that need to load up, etc., 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 put your four-wheeler on the back, whatever. It seems now it's just like, we got us a truck to go get groceries in. In that case, just buy a car. But you do what you want with your own money. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just telling you what I'm not doing with my money, which is buying a product that I don't believe in. And I don't understand why the automakers, and I guess right now they're making their money off of selling all these flashy, fancy, toodly doodly trucks. Guys like me, we're getting left out. But you look at places like Nissan, Nissan still understands that some people want a basic truck. So does Toyota. It's like I said, you can get work trucks in the other classes. You certainly can, and you can get them fairly decent. But getting them in crew cabs at a decent price, they're not much less than some of the other lines. I was looking at some of the prices the other day of some of the work trucks, crew cabs, compared to some of the regular crew cabs that some of these truck manufacturers put out. There wasn't a lot of difference in the price. Also, here's another thing. If you have to work on anything on a new vehicle, now I'm not a mechanic by any stretch of the imagination. I can do some basic things, very basic things. Now my dad, on the other hand, and my sister, both, man, I'll put them up against any mechanic out there. And my dad hates working on newer vehicles, and so does my sister. There seems to be a trend there. It's because you can't get to anything. There's so much stuff on there, and it's so complicated to get things fixed. So anyway, guys, that's just my gripe. I may come back every week with a different gripe about trucks, but my ultimate goal is that I want to see, and I want comments. If you own one of these new vehicles, tell me how it's doing. And I could be completely wrong about it. Maybe your vehicle's fine. Maybe you use it on the farm. Maybe you got one of those new F-150s with a 2.7 liter EcoBoost engine and you use it on the farm and you haul your cattle trailers with it. Maybe you do. How's your longevity been on it? How's the aluminum holding up? Same thing with the Chevrolets. How are those smaller V8s or the V6s compared to the 5.3 liter V8? You GMC owners, I know your gas mileage is terrible, but how's it holding up? You Nissan and Toyota owners, how are your trucks holding up? That's basically what I'd like to know. If you've invested this much, if you've invested 40,000, 50,000 in this piece of technology, how's it actually holding up if you're using it for work? How many of you out there actually use them for work? How many of you are just making runs to the grocery store and back and forth to work in it? I see a lot of people that all they do is go to work and go home and go to the grocery store in their trucks. Nothing else. Well, guys, I don't want to bore you to death because I'd like to get some more subscribers. But anyway, listen, you stay classy. We'll keep the truck conversations rolling. It's Johnny Hank out.